What's going on, guys? What's going on? Happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. What's going on, guys? What's going on? Happy Wednesday. So, what's really going on with the markets, right? What's really going on with the markets? Markets are going down, right? It's not that hard to kind of see that. A lot of people have been having some trouble the past few days with the markets, not really being able to catch some steam. I mean, realistically, if you just kind of look at what happened off the open today, it's pretty much been straight down. So what we're looking at here is the 1 hour chart. And on this 1 hour chart, right off the open, the first hour candle, okay, came down into our 50 EMA. Now, for those of you guys who know the way that I trade, I believe in supply and demand, right? Keep it very, very simple. I've got a lot of moving averages on my chart. Now, again, when I'm day trading, scalping, do I use this specific chart that we're looking at to find my scalps? No, not really. It gets a little confusing, but it's always in the background, right? It's always in the background. I've got 4 different monitors, so this chart that we're looking at here is always one of the screens that I will be looking at, just for overall context. So if you look at the first hour candle of the day, we came down into this 50 EMA, broke that level, and then the second hour candle, which is that 10 a.m. candle, had a little bit of some choppiness, and then it finally started to flush. Now, we had a big gap from the 50 EMA all the way down to this 100 EMA. Okay, this big gap here is what you want to take advantage of, right? Although the market's going to be choppy on a smaller time frame, you have to kind of look at the bigger picture, right? So I know a lot of times when we're trading futures and we're trading prop firms, it's very, very difficult to hold through 20, 25, 30 point swings in the market, right? My best advice is manage everything in terms of the amount of contracts that you're trading, right? Now, it's great to go out there and put on 1-2 mini contracts, grab 10 points, make $200-300 a trade, and sit back and think that we can do that every day, all day long, from market open to market close. And it's just not that way, right? So there's some times in the market where you got to learn to size down a little bit. But what I'm looking for right now is I would like to just give this a little bit of time, especially that we're in lunch hour. I'd like to give this a little bit of time to see if it does want to come down 24,350. Okay, that's what I would ultimately like to see, 24,350. And if it does, that would be a better opportunity for me. Now, we do have FOMC today, so with that being said, if we get that washout down below this area here, 24,350, even 24,330, those would be areas where I would look to see if the market wants to trap and then start to reverse off that area. Right here, right now, I don't really have a lot going. I mean, it's just, not too much going. I mean, look at the 5-minute time frame. We've got so much supply kind of stacked ahead of us, right? Makes it very, very difficult to kind of just go long and have some anticipation that it's going to come up to one of these supply zones, right? But also it makes it a little difficult to just go short, right? Like, who wants to go short when the ideal play was getting short off the open? Now, again, I know it's easy to look back in hindsight and say, man, shit, we should have all just been short off the open and just held all day, right? Easier said than done. Never works out that way. That's why you got to give yourself strategies and entries and risk management plans that you can kind of follow. There's not a whole lot going on here, so I can just recap a couple of different strategies or just different ways that I trade the market. If you look at the first 5-minute candle, we definitely did have a sweep to the upside here, which inside my community, we call it the opening drive. So we're kind of looking at the pre-market high and low and then seeing if there's any room to kind of get in on that trade and taking it for a very quick scalp, 5 points, right? Some people don't like taking 5 points. I don't really care. 5 points works for me a lot of the times on these quick moves. So I'll just kind of take those moves. But if you look at this high price from the pre-market, 24,531, price off the open shoots up to 24,540, right? So about 8 points and some change. So if you were looking for a lot more, you probably got stopped out. You know, it's the name of the game. That's why I say 5 points is going to give you your best opportunity to try to catch momentum. Again, I know there's a lot of people who like to take 10 points, and you know, sometimes that works out, but it is what it is. The second trade of the day here, you know, just based on things that I look for each and every single day, was a 20 SMA trade, right? So first candle closes below the 20 SMA. What I'm waiting for then is, typically I like to see consolidation or some type of back test into supply, and then I want to go short through the confirmation of that low, and that happens 5 minutes off the bell here, 9:35 in the morning Pacific or Eastern Standard Time, 6:35 Pacific. And if you kind of see, we confirm the low 24,496, and that drops all the way down to 478. So very, very good move there. Again, you know, you get that washout, and then you get the back test all the way into the 50 and 20 SMA. You know, was there an opportunity to try to catch this bounce? Yeah, but again, it's tough, right? In real time, it's very, very tough to kind of identify those moves. You know, for me, it's committing, right? You have to commit to the trade idea, right? Win, lose, or draw, you have to really commit to the trade idea. There's no right or wrong way to trade the markets. Even on down days like this, I know a ton of traders who only play long, right, on down days. And you know, it's not that they think that the market's going to reverse entirely, but it's they know that the market's not going to be a million red candles down in a row, so they're trying to look for that. You know, you're trying to look for that discrepancy, right, where you have a little bit of an edge, okay, so to speak. So with that being said, you know, it doesn't mean that for me I'm looking to catch every new low and go long. I definitely like to stay with the trend. So there's a few different areas that I use to try to stay with the trend, and it's the 5, 10, and 20-day moving average, right? The 5, 10, and 20 simple moving average. So if we are trending one side, typically if we are holding those power 3, which I like to say for intraday trading, if we're holding those power 3, I like to stay on the side that we're trading above or below, right? I don't like to really get in the way of it. So if you kind of look at, you know, what we did here, we bounced all the way up into the 20, we dropped. We bounced into the 10, we dropped. We bounced into the 20, we dropped. We reclaimed the 20, no confirmation, and we dropped. So this is a pretty strong trend to the downside today. Now, again, things can change here in the better half of an hour or 2 hours, but we got to just wait and see, right? Curious to know how you guys are doing today, how you guys approach these type of days. But right now we're just chilling out, right? We're chilling out. We're waiting for something to happen. See if we get something. If we do, we do. We don't, we don't. I've got a couple accounts that are already locked up. If anything, I'll probably trade an evaluation. Trade an evaluation, you know, just kind of play around with some price action. I would like to get long somewhere. See if I can catch a little bit of something. You know, like if I look at this current low again, you know, there's no telling that we're not going to make a new low, but like I could jump on something here where, let's see, if I jump on something here using these 2 wicks as a stop loss, right? So we'll just jump into something here. Again, I don't, this is an evaluation account, like not financial advice, obviously. I'm just trying to play around here. So 5 micros, looking to see if I can get some type of back test into 400 or even 410. That'd be about 10 to 15 points there by using this low of day as a stop. So we'll kind of see how that wants to play out, and if that wants to play out. But again, you know, depending on if you guys follow me or you don't, I'm not really a guy who's trying to make $1,000 a trade. Like if I can make $100, $200 a trade and make, you know, 200 bucks a day, I've got 17 accounts, right? So when we start to really split those up and we group those individually, I don't copy trade all my accounts. I only trade them in groups of 2 or 3 and then kind of rotate around. And then I also mix in evaluations throughout the day as well, because for me it's just like it's an ongoing flywheel for me, right? So it doesn't really matter between funded accounts, evaluations, which group I traded on one particular trade. I just like to keep firing off the trades based on my edges and then just keep it rolling. So right now we're trading 5 micros. We're up $77, $82 on this. Again, pretty good spot here. Again, rejection spot here at the 400 area. I might look to clip this if we can break through this 10 SMA. I'd like to see it come up to 405, 410, right? It's like squeezing water out of a rock, though. How much more money am I really going to make? Not that much, right? So I'll just keep a close eye on it. Again, if you were looking to take a quick scalp there, I mean, hell, you know, up 5, 6, 7, 8 points, that's a great scalp there on that bounce. But again, because it's an evaluation, I'm going to see if I can squeeze a little bit more out of it. And if it wants to break low of day, great. Like, you know, it's no real sweat off of our backs. Be a small paper cut. And the only reason why I'm choosing to go long here versus staying with the short is just it's so far extended. I have a hard time trying to get short through new low of days, especially this late in the day. If we were closer to the open, we were closer to pre-lunch, then yeah, I mean, I'm definitely looking to stay with that. But once we start coming out of lunch here, I'm not really looking to chase something that's down. You know, what are we down? We're down 125 points, but we're down, truthfully, 530 to 390. Yeah, we're down about 150 from swing high to low here. I guess the main thing for me is just managing, right? Just being okay with, hey, if the trade idea works out, that's fine. If it doesn't, you know, like, what are you going to do about it, right? It's like, not like you can really beat yourself up over it. Because if that's the case, you know, we would all be fucking billionaires, right? Like, we would all make a shit ton of money because we just knew every time to get in long, every time to get in short. It's like trading is not a game of being right 100% of the time. It's a game of a small percentage edge that you have to play out over like a long time, right? And it's like a lot of people, they feel like as if they learn one strategy that everything just sort of clicks one day and it's like you never go through the ups and downs anymore. It's like, you know, every day is different. You're always going to have those ups and downs. So, I mean, right now we're up 7 points here, 7.25. I would like to see it bust 400s. Again, tough spot here, getting rejected at the 10 SMA on this 5-minute chart. Just going to give it a little bit of time here and see what it wants to do. But what are you guys feeling for a little bit later? You guys think that the market is going to pop, or we're going to drop, right? What is this song? We gotta change this fucking song. market could definitely still continue to could still go down. Yeah, 100%. See that. Again, just keeping an eye on this low of day here, looking to see, right now we're kind of back testing this 5 SMA, looking to see if we can get back over. I do have a little bit of Bollinger Band support help too. I've got these, you know, 2 wicks down here at low of day. Just like to see a little bit of a, I'd like to see the buyers show that. I'd like to see the buyers show up here. Just to show that they're alive today, you know? Positions basically just flat. You don't have to trade Apex, my man. I mean, there's a lot of other really good firms, but there's a lot of good firms, right? You got TopStab, you have Take Profit Trader, you have Tradeify, you've got all kinds of stuff. So here's the thing with how I look at the prop firms, right? Look at the prop firms in a way that fits your trading style. So if you're a trader who needs wiggle room in your trades, where you're kind of looking for 20-point moves, 30-point moves, you're a high multiple trader, then yeah, 100%, Apex is probably not going to be the firm for you. It's just not, because of the trailing drawdown. Obviously, you don't want to be in a trade up $500, have it come back down to break even, and then now you're getting dinged for not taking profits, right? If you're a scalper, which I lean a little bit more into the scalping side of things, 5-point trades, 10-point trades, then for me, that high watermark, that threshold is not really a bother, because my trades are truly never going to go into profit $500 and I'm going to let them come back down to break even or red. It's either I make 5 or 10 points quickly or I take my loss. So for my style and being able to, you know, only need $50 a day, for example, to get it logged as a green day, you know, you need 8 days, it works for me, right? Like I can take $150 profit, $200 profit, stack that up 15, 20 days and be pretty close to being able to request a payout. Now, there's firms like TopStep, there's firms like Take Profit, there's firms like Tradeify. There's all these different firms. You just have to find the firm that matches with your trading style. I mean, it is what it is, right? It is what it is. I don't really let it get to me, you know, which firm's the best. I think at the end of the day, every firm wants you to fail. So they have their rules set up the best that play against you. But the thing is like I'm not here to really debate like about Apex. Like, people don't have to use Apex. Like, I don't really care if people use Apex or not. Like, you only really have to justify a trade like if you like go over 30% drawdown or some shit like that, right? It's not the end of the world, you know? Like, just find the firm, stick to the fucking rules, call it a day, right? It is what it is. You know, I know a lot of people that hate Apex, right? Like, no shade to them. And there's a lot of people that love Apex. So that's it. It's all just finding what works for you. But I personally, like, my opinion, I think too many people get caught up in like fighting something that is nothing to fight about, right? Like, trying to convince people that Apex is trash, what does that do for you in your trading? It doesn't do anything. Just like, don't use them, right? Guys, up 10 points here on this long. This right here, this 20 SMA, I'm looking at for resistance. If we can reclaim the 20 SMA, then it does have a little bit more steam to open up into 420s. But I'm up 12 points here. What are we up? 115 bucks, 112 bucks here. I'm going to scale off just a couple of these.
Order filled.
And again, there's no, I'd like to see us get over this 20. It doesn't look like so. It looks like we might get rejected here. Let's just scale another one off. The thing is like, it's like, I don't like, to me personally, trade and grow rich, to me, it's like, I use Apex. I also use daytraders.com. I also use Top Step. I also use a lot of them. It's just Apex, again, full transparency, they probably have the better affiliate payout commissions, right? Just because of the scalability, people can buy 20 accounts. So how much money do affiliates really make? Sure, if you're a really big streamer, I'm sure you're making thousands and thousands of dollars. But for like someone like me, I'm a trader first. I'm just a guy who likes to come on here and dick around on YouTube and make educational videos showing shit how I do stuff. You know, like, they toss me like a $1.50. Like, if you use my link, it's like, what is that going to do, right? I live in California. That shit can't even buy you a cup of coffee. So they pay affiliates to keep the stream of traders coming in. But again, from a business standpoint, that's all businesses. All businesses need marketing, right? So it's just the way of the world. That's all. It's just the way of the world. Guys, up 12, 13 points here. Total, probably about 105 bucks. I only have 2 contracts left, so realistically, what the hell am I doing here? These were the 2 price targets that I had, was the 400 spot and then the 405-ish spot. I'd like to see them reclaim 405, maybe give me a little bit more. But again, the market's not really moving all that much. Up 10 points. Let's just...
Order filled.
I'm just going to kill it there. So, very quick trade, $94.30. On 5 micros, right? So now the next idea that I would be looking at is, if this low holds up and we can reclaim this 20 SMA, again, I keep my trading very, very simple. I look at the moving averages as supply and demand. I believe in a theory that stocks trade from supply to supply, demand to demand. So if we reclaim the 20 SMA, that opens up a new channel into about 24,420 to 24,440. So I would need to see us close over the 20 SMA and then see some type of consolidation, some type of backtest, and then a confirmation of that close over the 20 SMA to see that channel open up. If it doesn't, then we look to the downside, 24,374 to the downside for just more continuation of this day's trend. But again, the market has proved since the open that it hasn't really had much success reclaiming the 20 SMA. It tested it here 8:15 Pacific Standard Time, got rejected. It reclaimed it for a very brief moment in time here about 45 minutes ago and got rejected. This is a third attempt here to try to reclaim this 20 SMA. You know, is the third time the charm? Who the hell knows? We'll have to wait and see. Patience is your best friend in trading. So just see what it wants to do here. Again, if you are looking to get short and you believe in the narrative that this is going to get short, then this is probably your spot where you want to get short, right? For the retest of the low of day. This is your spot here to take some more continuation. Just understand that if we do close above, 405, there's a good potential opportunity that it drifts up to about 420 to 425. So are you going to give it that much room as a stop loss, or do you want to wait to see the next potential move? Trading for me is just all about trying to analyze the next move, 20 minutes, 30 minutes out, right? I'm not really trying to predict where the hell the market's going to close at today. I don't really give a shit what the market did prior to this. I just need to see what is the market doing right now? What is it trying to do? And how can I analyze this from both sides, meaning long and short? And where does putting a trade on where I have the least amount of risk that makes the most amount of sense, right? And that's all you're doing every day. You're just trying to figure out where you have what makes the most amount of sense. Don't be the guy who falls into the trap of you have to be right every single time. You're gonna do more harm to yourself than you are good. $15-minute chart looks okay. Previous 15-minute chart, a little bit of a hammer candle here. Getting rejected at this 5 SMA. I'd like to see the low of day hold. Again, this Bollinger Band's super stretched out down here, so we definitely have more room to go down. Like if you go to the daily chart here, look at where the daily chart is sitting. And again, I made a not a really good video, but I made a recap video yesterday on yesterday's close. I said, guys, look at this inverse hammer, this little doji candle that we have yesterday. If we start to confirm the previous day low, it's the first time that we're confirming the previous day's low in quite some time. You got some room. So we definitely have room down. Like I'm not sitting here advocating that this market is going to push up today. Like it's definitely got room down into the lower 300s. That's the next strongest rising support, is about 325. So we can definitely keep continuing to trickle down here. That's why if you are looking for the bounce, because you don't really trust getting short at the low, just have that open mind that it still can go down. We have not tested any daily support yet, so there's definitely room for this market to continue to go down. But as we've seen, just looking off this daily chart, yes, there's some red candles being printed in here, but it's overall going up and to the right. So when you have a market that is strong, it's over the 5, 10, 20, 50, 200-day moving averages, they don't have to go down to support. They can bounce this and step in at any time. Like, you can get this, news coming out in an hour, hour and a half, and we can see this market being traded flat, right? We can recover 100 points very, very quickly in the NASDAQ. And I think that's what a lot of people are kind of waiting for right now. So it is just a slow trickle down. Just be cautious, right? Just be cautious. There's no rush, right? I really hate when I see a lot of traders and it's like they feel rushed or they feel cramped. They feel like, FOMO. It's like, guys, the market's going to be open today. It's going to be open tomorrow. It's going to be open next week. It's going to be open next month. Like, the market's not fucking going anywhere, right? So when the market's not going anywhere, you don't have to really feel like, holy shit, like if I don't make money today, I'm not going to make money, next week. I'm not going to make money this month. I'm not going to pass my evaluation. Like, guys, who really gives a shit here? You can pass an evaluation, load up a bunch of heavy size, take one magnificent trade, and pass a bunch of evaluations tomorrow. You can trade it nice and slow, a little bit more realistic, and take 2, 3 weeks, 4 weeks to pass an evaluation, right? Once you get into that funded account, I definitely don't recommend, putting on massive amounts of size, keeping your expectations a little bit more realistic and just kind of scaling that across multiple different accounts, right? So for me, I believe, it's all about the scalability with prop firms, right? Because that's why you trade prop firms. Because, so just like a backstory, I don't know how many of you guys actually follow me or whatever, but I have a long-term portfolio. It's a high yield interest rate or interest dividend slash distribution portfolio, right? So I have X amount of dollars in there that brings in about X amount of dollars per month. I've also got some money allocated towards day trading, equities, and options, right? On a day in and day out basis. That's where I make a lot of my money. But I also want to diversify my risk a little bit and make a little bit more money. So I'll utilize prop firms. But let's say, for example, you don't have a personal account and you're going to utilize the prop firms to get ahead. Well, in that particular case, you don't have to, the amount of leverage that quote unquote that you're getting for these prop firms, you don't have to go out there and risk a ton of cash, big size, to, $1,000 trades, $2,000 trades. It looks good on paper, guys. It looks good on social media. But like, the odds of you being able to do that consistently time over time, and it's like, I don't want to hear the stories and this shit about, well, what about this streamer who did this payout and this payout? Guys, they're putting a lot of money into that. Like, that's what a lot of regular normal retail traders are like, they're misinterpreting, right? Like, if someone's putting in $5, $10, $20,000 into prop firm evaluations, activation fees, and they're taking out $30, $40, $50,000 a month, that's justifiable. But if it's like someone like you who's got $500 into this and you're expecting to make $20,000 every single month, like, you're fucking out of your league a little bit there, bud. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're not really in your lane. Like, if you're investing $1,000 into prop firms a month and you're making $3,000 to $4,000 a month, that's really good fucking money. Just like, keep doing that and just continue to scale. Guys, we got the first close here over the 20 SMA. I do like this setup here. I'd like to see one more little push down and then a pop back up over this 20 SMA. I would be interested in taking this here. I'd like to see it get over 24,403. 24,403. I'm probably going to fire on this for a quick scalp. I'd like to see this pullback right here. I'd like to see the pullback, and then I'd like to see it jump, right? I'd like to see it jump over 403. So, and the reason why I would like to see the pullback first before just jumping in here is because we have had this, what is this, 5, 10, 15, 20, we've had about a 30-minute kind of chop to the upside, right? Into resistance. So now I'd like to back test that a little bit, consolidate, and then I'd like to see the jump to show that the market is strong. We are coming out of lunch here, so maybe we get a little bit more juice Again, not going to look for too much on the scalp if we can start to break over 403, but it's definitely, for me and my edge, worth firing and at least attempting, right? For me, the longer it kind of settles here under 403 before breaking it is better. I usually hate the trades that it gets right to a specific level you're looking to trade, and then boom, it just automatically confirms. Like, those trades, to me, they typically get my ass into the trade, and then it fucking pulls back 10, 15, 20 points, and then it's like, then it goes. So the longer it consolidates here under 403 is better. Patience is just the #1 key, you know? And then just understanding that. Like, I go into every trade like, you know, this trade's probably, you know, there's some higher probability setups than others, but I go into every trade with the mentality like, hey, you know, I've got a 50-50 shot that this works. I just need to make sure that I manage my fucking risk so this market doesn't eat my shorts, right? Previous 5-minute candles a range of 15 points, so that's probably going to be my stop loss, 15 points. Might actually wait for like 403 1/4 just to actually get some steam there. Guys, also make sure you guys are hitting the like button on your way in or out. It's the only way that YouTube knows that people are actually showing up to watch these live streams. I mean, definitely, I do not live stream a lot, but I do got some time on my hands coming up to do some more of these streams. 403 is what I'm looking at. 403 1/4, and then we fire. There's 403 1/4.
Order filled.
See what we can get off of this. Again, not the highest of confidence of play here, just due to the fact of what the market's doing, but I do got a little bit of support down here, 398 as well as 394, so I'm definitely going to keep an eye on those two spots. Trading the 5-minute chart, so I will use that as my gauge. I'm just trying to find a quick scalp here. Yeah, it doesn't have to be overcomplicated. It just has to make sense to you, you know? The way and the style and the setups that you're taking, they got to make sense to you. You got to be able to justify them in terms of risk, right? And I've always been able to justify any strategy or level based on the position sizing, right? You know, trading 2 mini contracts and giving yourself a 50-point stop loss is going to hurt a hell of a lot more than trading 2 micro contracts and giving yourself a 100-point stop loss, right? So essentially, for someone who's looking to take scalps, yeah, maybe you can trade a little bit heavier size because you're looking for a little bit less points than someone who's trading bigger size or smaller size and looking for more points. It's just got to make sense, right? The market doesn't have to do anything for you. So just being able to justify where the hell to get in and out based on technicals is all we really got, right? Because at any point in time here, you know, you can have a news headline that hits the airwaves and the market drops fucking 100 points, right? So you got to be able to justify where the heck you want to get out of the trade to a degree. Again, market kind of still showing the same pattern here where this 20 SMA is acting as resistance in a pretty big way, right? In a pretty big way. So it's tested it 3 times today, and each of the 3 times that it's been tested has been a spot of rejection. So like I kind of mentioned earlier, probably about 10 minutes ago, if you are looking to stay short, you're probably looking to stay as safe on the short as possible, meaning as close to some of this previous resistance, which in this chart's case would be towards this 20 SMA, right? Still in this trade here, guys. Still in this trade. Just letting it do its thing, right? Basically, it's about break even right now. Just looking for a little bit of a pop here. See if this market wants to juice a little bit. Again, it is in terms of which side of the market that I'm trading. I'm definitely going against the trend here, and it is extended, but we are seeing some type of buying step in here. So up 5 points here. Again, if you're a 5-point scalper, just kind of hit it now. You can take those profits. I am trading a little bit more size, so maybe if I can just squeeze a couple more points off this son of a bitch, that would be okay. But just remember, just protect yourself, right? Just protect yourself. Currently up, you know, $40. Not a whole lot. But you start to see the power of small scalps and like stacking up, right? So the first trade $92, this trade up $40. I mean, up $130. Is it a lot? No. But if you start to scale that across 3 accounts, you know, you're up $350 on a day. You start to scale that across 5 accounts, you're up, you know, $500 on a day. So you can definitely scale by taking these small trades where you don't have to hit super big home runs or be 1,000% right on the day's trend, right? You can just pitter patter your way around. I think if I can get over $50 on this trade, I'll be more than happy. Again, it does have room to go up to about 415, 418. Support here sitting at 24,400 and 24,397. Those could be an area where it wants to back test. And that's also, for me, if you really look at things, like a lot of times the market will give you 4, 5, 6 points pretty quickly. It's like the longer you sit in the trade looking for more and you really try to squeeze trades, it's when, you know, things backpedal. Now, of course, giving up 5, 10, 15 points on a trade's not that much if you're looking for 30, 40, 50 points. It's just, for me, in my experience, it's like I don't have the patience for that, right? Like, it doesn't really suit my personality that well. And you just have to kind of always understand, like, where do you fall? What side do you fall on? Do you fall on the side that you're a little bit impatient naturally, then you should probably be more so on the scalping side of things. If you're someone who's like, you can put on some small size, you can let this thing run, and you can sit there, have no problems, walk away from the computer screens, have a bracket order in there, then yeah, maybe you're the trader who's looking for 30, 40 points, right? 50 points. I think a lot of people that are looking for 30, 40, 50 points that are glued to every single candlestick, those people tend to have a much harder time because there's a lot of emotions that get involved in it. For someone like me looking for 5 to 10 points, there's not too much emotions because it's like either the market's going to go 5 to 10 points or it's not, right? And it's like I don't really need to sit there and wait that long for it to go 5 or 10 points. But if I was sitting here waiting for 50, 60 points, that's when emotions can play a big factor, right? So
Order filled.
guys, I'm out. I got about 5.5, 6 points on that trade. It's going to bring the total up on this since I started streaming $140.60. This definitely has more room to go. Again, you know, it's just not my style to hold all day. We'll just continue to scalp this market. 24,419 is our next resistance level. Again, we do have support that sits all the way down to about 397. I would say short term, right now we're still in bullish context until we get below 397. As long as we're over 397, look for this to continue to grind in a slow process up to that 415, 420. How much heat will I take on a trade before I cut it loose? All depends on how much size I'm trading, and it's all going to depend on what is the setup. So on this particular setup, I was willing to give myself around 15 points of heat. You know, anything more than 15 points of heat, I was probably going to have to get out of the trade. You know, I would have liked to keep that heat to 10 points, but that's just because of the time of day that we're at. So if this is off the open, then trying to control 10 to 15 points of heat is going to be hard, right? Because of the volatility. At this time of day, the ATR, average true range on the 5-minute time frame, is 15 points. So like the amount of heat that I was willing to take is pretty in line with the volatility for the current price action, right? Again, I would have loved to, and I probably could have squeezed 10 points off this trade if I just held it. But that's a decision that you have to make in real time. Like, do you want to take the quick cash, or do you want to hold for the potential? Right? So if you can hold for the bigger potential, you know, you're a much better trader than I am emotionally, right? Like emotionally for me, it's like, I want to know I'm right, or slap me on the wrist very quickly and tell me I'm wrong. That's where I'm at. So again, for anyone who is long off this bottom here, again, be cautious the closer we get into 410, 415. Like those two areas I can see having a little bit of trouble. Getting over 415, 418, you can see a push to 430. That's the next strongest resistance level that I've got on my chart. And again, 24,400 remains that super strong, not super strong, but the strongest level of support on this 5-minute time frame. So if someone is long right now, I can see a pullback that goes all the way to 401, 402, and then still touches 428. Does that make sense? So again, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not some flashy professional fucking trader, but what I'm telling you is that if you're long here, like, don't be fucking hesitant to take some gains off the table. Like, that's what I'm saying, right? Like, again, you don't have to listen to me, but just like, don't be afraid to take those profits. A winning trade is a winning trade. You know, don't try to get cute is what I'm trying to say. Like, don't you're not like someone special just because the longer you hold it you make more money. Like, you're not that special. I'm more concerned about protecting my ass and then trying to make a little bit of cash than, you know, trying to be super flashy. And it's working its way up fine, right? What was that level? 415, 418. We're trading at 413, 414 right now. So again, I'm also not a trader that believes in I gotta squeeze every ounce of water out of that rock if that was the measured potential move and we're 2 points shy of it. Think about it. How much more money are you going to really make on 2 points? But the thing that gets traders is like, well, what if this goes to 430? Now we're not talking about a 2-point differential. We're talking about a 15-point differential, which is huge. I get it. I 100% get it. But how many times does it do that? And what about the time where you're in on a trade and it doesn't go to full potential and then it goes back to break even and hits your entire stop loss? It's like traders have a hard time identifying that. It's like you can run hot for a week and it's one trade that'll take everything away from you in 1 week, right? So my mentality is always try to be just stay boring, right? Like I tell myself all the time, like I'm not going to win the lottery on any one trade. And the more boring that I can keep this, the more consistent that I can keep the style of trading that I do. And there's those 418s, guys. The more boring that I can keep this, the better, right? Like the better. So now we are opening up here over the 418. Next resistance was this previous swing high at about 422. So definitely keep an eye on 422. Over 422, I've got some strong resistance at 429. All in all, pretty decent little pop there. Pretty decent little pop. Again, if anyone's wondering what was the setup here, it was, if any of you guys have seen my YouTube channel before, it's just a 20 SMA setup. At 10:10 Pacific Standard Time, we closed over the 20 SMA. I waited for the following candle to confirm the high. That was me jumping into it. I was giving myself a 15-point risk, and I was targeting 418 or anything in between. That was the idea, right? That was the idea. Just curious, did anyone jump long? Did anyone take a long? Still sitting long? Did you grab some quick profits? Nice pop here. Nice pop. 428, 429, next resistance level. A little bit of resistance here, guys. 427, 430. From here, I would like to see from 430s, I'd like to see a pullback into 411, if not 405. That would show a pretty strong move that the market is going to be uptrending a little bit. So just keep an eye on what we do as we approach 427, 430. Here's that pop. Guys, anyone take that? That turned out to be a really, really good trade, right? Now, one thing I also want you guys to notice is, like, I'm not sitting here saying, oh man, I wish I would have held this. It did everything I expected it to. Guys, you gotta be happy with the decision you made, right? You gotta be happy with it. You know, because to me, and again, this is just me, this is not the last trade that I'm ever going to take. So I didn't miss out on anything. Sure, short term, I missed out on what? 10 points, 12 points, 15 points? Absolutely. But long term, this edge is going to play out at a high win rate percentage. So there's no money lost when you look at it long term, right? Turning out to be a hell of a trade. But it's like you can't have any regrets, right? And it's like situations like this, as traders, they tend to have so much freaking FOMO where it's like, holy shit, I was in on this trade, I've got to get back in. And it's the time you get back into this, or you chase it, or you didn't even take it and you're like, man, I should have taken this trade. And you get into it now and it pulls back, right? Now, I don't know if it's going to pull back, but I'm just saying, like, that's a situation that can happen. And it's like, that's what gets traders into so much damn trouble, is like, you didn't trust it initially, and now that the move actually went, it's like, now you want to get in on a trade? Now, right? We were going over this trade at a price of 24,403. Guys, we're trading at 440. That's 37 points away. It's gone 37 points, right? Excellent move here. Big pop. 21 point candle on this 5 minute alone here. We do got VWAP coming up at 24,465. It's not showing on this chart. I've got it on another chart, but on my chart, I've got a little resistance at 455 and a little resistance at 468. So in between these two zones here, we've got that VWAP. So if this market wants to go back up and retest VWAP, it'd be coming up in here to this range, 455, 465. Excellent move here. We've also just reclaimed initial balance. So if I physically mark out initial balance on this chart, it's right here. So any pullback into this initial balance, or even 424 with a hold and then a confirmation to the upside, then we would be targeting 455, 465. So let's see if we want to hold this initial balance here. Because if you go back to the left of the chart, once we broke initial balance, we put in a low, we back tested, acted as resistance, and then flushed. So now let's see if it does the same thing where it reclaims initial balance, kind of consolidates over and then starts to really push up towards 455, 465. That's what you would be looking at here. $455. Very curious to see what we do here. Very, very curious to see what we do right here. It's pulling right back into initial balance. I want to see this next 5-minute candle open up here. This next 5-minute candle opens up and gets below this this Bollinger Band. 424 is the next support. I want to see if it holds initial balance. If it holds initial balance, that's going to set it up for a nice stronger push it here into 455, 465. So far, so good on the back test. But always analyze the trade from both sides, right? What can the market do if it continues higher? What can the market do if it wants to pull back? That's what kind of keeps me like level-headed, right? I know a lot of people, they get like, okay, the market's only going this way. The market's only going this way, right? And it's like, that's where you get caught, because then you start to marry that bias. And again, yeah, 100% right what Haley's saying here. FOMC in 15 minutes, you're going to get some volatility starting to come in, unless you're trading like some evaluations where you're going to put on a little bit more size, or you're going to kind of dance a little bit with the price. You know, don't put too much like emphasis into like being 100% right, because these candles can definitely open up and go back and forth. You know, just be cautious, just be patient. You know, gotta love it. Gotta love it. You get below 441 into 429.
I live inside my own world of make-believe. Kids screaming in the cradles, profanities. I see the world through ice covered in ink and bleach. Cross out the ones who heard my cries and watched me weep. I love everything. Fire spreading all around my room. My world's so bright, it's hard to breathe, but that's alright. Hush.
All the way back into this rising support here. So looking for this pullback. I want to see, is this move going to be strong?
Take my eyes open to force reality. Why can't you just let me eat my weight in glee? I live inside my own world of make-believe. Kids screaming in their cradles, profanities. Some days I feel skinnier than all the others.
What's up, Uno? What's up?
Sometimes I can't
How we doing?
my body belongs to me. I love everything. Fire spreading all around my room. My world's so bright, it's hard to breathe, but that's alright. Hush.
So all comes down to, where do you want to get better value, right? If you believe in the long, you want your value probably closer to 418, 405. If you want the short, your value is probably closer to initial balance, 435, 440. Hey, stick to the rules. You got to have them. If you don't, that's where we get chewed up, right? So having those hard set rules gets boring as all hell, but it keeps you in the game. Keeps you in the game. I want to see if we get down into this 50 SMA, if this wants to hold up. Um, it depends. Like right now, I'm not really taking nothing too serious on in terms of like if I want to trade some consolidation or the reversals. Um, I would say for me, a lot of the times I'm trading consolidation and then the breakout or breakdown. That's about 75% of my trading is looking for the breakouts or breakdowns. Consolidation trading, I mean, sure, if we're extended. So like when I started going long down here, it's because we were coming out of lunch. The market was already proven to be like extended down. Not to say that it can't go lower, but it's like I've already missed a lot of this short, right? And because a lot of my shorts today came off the open on the initial breakdowns. So like I don't really feel comfortable trying to like catch every new short. I'm looking more so for some consolidation and to try to reverse it back the other way. It all depends for me on what is the market doing, right? Like what's it doing? I just try to flow with the market. Just try to flow with it. Nothing is ever really, I can't really say that one of them works better than the other. It just all depends on what the market is doing. I kind of like a bounce spot here. It's just really, really close to FOMC though. You know, don't you guys think? It's a little close here. And that'd be fucking sweet, B Twins. That'd be sweet, bro. It'd be sweet if we could actually be on the right side of it. Oh, this is a perfect time to degen the news, you know? Too bad Apex didn't have like a 90% off sale. Like that's the best time. If you could stack those accounts on 90% off and then just start firing them on red folder news or FOMCs and shit like that. I do like the bounce from here though. I'm gonna try a little bit of a long here. Previous 5-minute candle as my stop. It's about a 12-point stop loss. Battling a little bit with this initial balance. this initial balance low. It's having a tough time getting back over it. Market's going to get a little jumpy here and now. Closer we get. That's the thing. The better you get at waiting for setups, like, yeah, it gets boring, but that's when you know, like, okay, like, you're doing your job every day, right? Like, if I'll be honest, guys, if like trading, you wake up every day and you're like super fucking excited to trade, you're not doing it right. Like, you're just too emotional. I'll just say that. Like, you're just you're too jumpy, you know? Like, this stuff should be so boring. Like, you should like, can't wait to like get off work, right? Like, okay, how long do I have to sit before I get that picture perfect setup according to my rules or setups or whatever I'm trading? And then like, how fast can I get the hell out of here, right? Like, how fast can I really get the hell out of here? Oh, nice pop. So I'm getting the pop here, guys. Getting the pop on my play. It's getting all jumpy, right? So I'm just going to sell it. I'm going to sell it because we're getting jumpy. I took 8 points on that. So we're up 204.40 here, guys. Nice. Look, there's a spike. Look for the 455. Look for the 465, guys. 450, 465. Look for it, guys. There it goes. All the way up to the 20 SMA. Wow. Beautiful fucking trade, guys. Beautiful move there. If anyone was gambling that, you guys made some money on that pop. What did this go up to? All the way up to 511s, guys. 511s. Sweet, sweet, sweet. Overnight rate cuts. What do we got here? Fed cuts, key overnight rate 25 basis points, guys. Pretty much as expected, right? So we knew that the cut was coming. They did decide to cut it 25 basis points. Bam, bam, bam. Thank you, ma'am. Now here's what I want you guys to be careful of, guys. Just because everyone already was assuming that we were going to cut, and we did, the initial reaction was bullish. Keep in mind, a lot of this move that we've had over the past few weeks was baked in, guys. It was baked in, right? So if I go to this daily chart, right? Go to the daily chart, guys. We all knew that that rate cut was coming in September, right? Look at what we've been doing, guys, since we retested the 50-day moving average back on the 2nd of September. Guys, we've been going straight up. So a lot of this shit into all-time highs is already baked in. You could see that little bit of reversal. It's not to say that the market doesn't continue higher, but the first initial reaction was freaking bullish. So we already knew that. Could that just be a little bit of a blow off top now to come back and backtest a lot of this support? You got to think about it. A lot of the major players already knew that this was coming. They've already been making money over the past 2 to 3 weeks. Now you take a little bit of profits on this blow off, you get a better price, right? You get a better price. Again, remember, when you start dealing with big money, right? You don't want to pay top dollar. Like, there's no way, there's no shot in hell I'm going to go buy a car today. I'm going to go pay full sticker price. You're fucking out of your mind. I want the best deal. The same thing in business. You want the best deal. So if you want the best deal, I'm already long, right? You got to think about it from that perspective. You're already long. For us here as scalpers, sure, you can catch a little bit of this momentum, Just be freaking careful though. Be very freaking careful, right? But the first initial reaction is nice and strong. So what do we got here? Uno caught the 31 points. Yeah, I mean, so who else caught it, guys? Anyone else, you know, have the stones to jump that? Anyone else have the stones to jump that? It's a nice move. Again, 5-minute chart. Just keep in mind here, 200 SMA sitting at 495. I'm gonna take this off now because I have a lot of I got a lot of levels here anyways. Hell yeah, nice. You ever notice how everyone, including myself, like we all get more pumped up when the market goes up than down? It's insane, right? We're pushing all the way into this linear regression. 525, 527, that's my linear regression channel. That's the midline. Very strong level there. I would expect this to give it a go, right? Give it a go into 520s. Beautiful move. Beautiful move. Beautiful move. Nice move, guys. Now you want to sit patient. You want to be like don't go chasing this up already, right? Like this 5-minute candle was 85 points. Like don't go chasing it now. You want it to be in, like you want it to be in on the initial. Like you don't want to be chasing it. Let's see what the hourly chart's looking like. Hourly chart got some resistance here at 536. That's our 50 SMA. Looks like a good magnet spot, guys. Looks like a good magnet spot here. 530s resistance. 530s resistance. 530s resistance. Hey B, Tricky got some of that. Tricky got some of that. I just seen him in the Profits channel. Oh, I seen you got it too. Hell yeah. You guys caught it. Fucking sweet. Sweet. Hell yeah, good. I like seeing that shit. Again, like you guys treat the valuations, I mean, they're throwaways, right? Like you get some volatility in the markets. Don't be afraid to throw some size around and try to get some of these things passed up. And you know, nice work though. We do have resistance here at 535. We've got that resistance at 535. Anything over 535, 587 becomes a new standard, and our supports right now are looking at about 500, right? So it could be resistance 500, and then we've got 472 and 438. So that's it, guys. I mean, it's done, right? Like it's done. Yeah, hell yeah, stones. Yeah, we got them. We got the stones. We got the stones. 5 minis passing eval. Good shit, Uno. Right here at this resistance, 530, 535. I'd like to see the pullback. I mean, if this market's going to be strong off that news, and you know you'll bust through the 530s at some point, just mark that out on your charts, guys. 530, mark out a zone between 530 and 535. Watch for this son of a bitch to pull all the way back though, right? So you do have a lot of supports. I mean, again, it's not too short friendly until you get below 417, because it could definitely bounce at any one of these spots. But just mark out do this, guys. Mark out 415, mark out 430, 435. That zone that we're playing in is all volatility zone. It's all just a range here off the news. Look at the sell-off. You knew it was coming though, right? What the hell are they saying here? NASDAQ, weakness in Nvidia, which fell on reports of China banning its leading technology companies from procuring the company's AI chips. What the fuck? Anyways. All right, guys, I think that's it. That's it for me, right? I was pretty much done trading anyways. I just wanted to see the reaction off of this. Just wanted to see the reaction off of this. Guys, make sure you guys are smashing that like button as well. Yeah, I seen that, B. I seen that. Nice. I wonder if anyone else caught it in the room. All right, guys, I'm tuning out. Make sure you hit the like button. I'll catch you guys all. We'll see if we'll do this tomorrow again. I'll catch you guys all on the next one. Make sure to subscribe. Peace out, guys.